practice fans, if it's the evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're from, welcome to the Porsche Cup Challenge. Here we go. Right now we have qualifying. I'm going to just pull up our track map and our weather conditions and just take a look at everyone going for the goal, trying to get that in qualifying. Right now it's looking like Philip Hammer, wow, just put in a burner of a lap, a killer lap of 124.3. Just absolutely blazing fast. I'm going to turn down the motor sounds a little bit. There, turn down the motor sounds a little bit so that you can hopefully hear me a little bit better. I hope that works. Messed up all my laps. It's low temps 30C. It's not that low. It says Maddie says he messed up all of his laps and now he's P7 at 125.0. Well, that's how it goes. I've seen some officials being around 32 Celsius, 38. It's been ranging all week. For our league sessions, we've been trying to be as close as we can with the conditions of the track. So they're close. They're not identical, but we're hoping it's close enough. So right now, let's take a look around who's going around the track still. We're going to take a look at Sebastian. But we got Philip Hammer with pole lap of 124.3, blazing fast. Michael Hownick with the 124.7. And Misha for rounding out those top 3 spots there with the 124.8. I'm not sure who's done that with draft or not. Open qualifying, you have that a little bit of that advantage if you can get a good draft. It's obviously very high risk to try and get that draft because if the car in front of you makes a mistake, it's the end of your lap, potentially, most likely. And so it's not always a game that most people want to play. Most guys, oh, and there goes, I believe that was Hownick. That was Hownick. Unfortunate that was the last lap. Luckily, he's already got P2. But, yeah, so we got 4 minutes left in qualifying. Looks like most people have set their laps. We're just going to come along with Gordon here and see how he does. He might have finished his laps. He might be practicing still. I saw some real fast laps from Gordon, and I'm a little bit shocked to see he's only at 126.1 as his time. Looks like he is done, and he's practicing his starts for the beginning of the race. Very smart move. To have qualified at 11, the start is going to be really, really important for Gordon to try and maximize his position in this sprint race to try and get up a little faster. Here goes Maddie in the safety car, practicing his start, laying down some rubber. Gonna kill that clutch. Here we go, riding along. Here we go, even better view. And I think if Maddie doesn't start like that in the race, he might be toast. So let's hope that this practice goes to good use. So yeah, let's see one more time. Yeah, that's not looking too good, Maddie. Okay, let's just take a look at our pit lane. So it looks like most people have completed their laps. Everyone was an eager beaver to get out there and qualify very quickly. So that leaves me about 2.5 minutes to talk to myself, talk to you guys, and say, hey, what's up? So one of the updates for our league race this week is that our incident our incident limit. We had it previously at 12x. Would give you a drive-through penalty. We've raised that to 15x just to be a little bit more lenient, a little bit more fair, because we know that there's sometimes just random stuff happens that's racing incidents. It's just a racing incident, and you might have like say 6 or 7 x just off of that. So what we've done is raised it from 12 to 15 so that you don't feel like you can't race anyone anymore. Just because of something that was out of your control, or you don't feel like you had much control in that. So we've just given a little bit more lenience on that. In a 30-minute race, you'll still be able to have enough free points where you're going to feel like you can take a risk and try and make a pass on someone. And our intention is not for you to use this as a credit, but to let you feel like you still have freedom to race without getting a drive-through penalty and losing all of your positions. So we're going to see how that goes. It'll be the same for both of our leagues on Thursday league and for our Sunday league. So yeah, looks like here Misha Berger is starting to try. He's going to be trying his practice start. Or maybe he's going for more laps. I don't know. So yeah, it looks like we have a bunch of guys who are just doing practice starts. Let's take a preliminary look at who we think is going to make it to T1 first. I'm going to have to put my money on Misha here. That was a good launch by Misha. He's able to dodge out of the way. Yeah, I'm putting my money on Misha. I don't know about Maddie. He's got a lot of wheel spin. We're going to have to see. Okay, we got 15 seconds left. And that looks like it is the... Hey, thanks for following, Bence. Glad you can join us, or maybe you're watching. But here we go. Okay, I'm going to now bring up our qualifying grid. There we go. We got Philip Hammer, P1 pole position, an amazingly fast lap from Germany at 124.3. Incredible. P2 is 4/10 behind. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. Michael Hownick, 4/10 behind. Misha in third. Ali Dink, first race tonight for Ali, and P4. That is a very strong showing. Jamie Fierro in P5, who last week was battling with Philip Hammer. So he's going to want to get back up there and challenge Philip again, I'm sure. You got Charlie Card in P6, Matty Helenius in P7. I'm sure that's not where he wanted to be, but he is. P8, Gherkin Demir. P9, Zane Smith. P10, Aaron Hall. P11, Gordon Ramsay. 13 is Chuck Baker, Sebastian in P14. P15 will be Bence. I don't believe Yiling Wang is in this race. He might have had to go run. But Bence is going to be in P15, bringing up the rear, serving his penalty that he's received from last week, where he received a qualifying ban. He received 10 points total, penalty points total from that race, and so now he has to serve his qualifying ban. So he'll be at the back. So now we're just waiting for... Oh, not that. Just waiting for the race start. Looks like 2 seconds to go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And here's the lights. Lights going on. And the lights are off, and away we go. We have a lot of smoke and a lot of cars. Some guys going to the side. Nothing big yet. looking nice and clean. Look like Michael Hownick has taken the lead. Oh no, I hear some sound of cars. Oh, but looks like everyone's continuing on nice and clean, nice and clear. There goes some cones. Too wide, a lot of too wide. This is incredible racing. A little, uh-oh. Looks like the safety car has been taken out. Uh-oh. We're gonna have a lot of stewards review after that one. We're gonna just head back up to who's in P1. We're gonna take a look back at that when we have time. It looks like a lot has happened. A lot has happened here. We have now Misha Berger, the leader of this race. He's definitely benefited from all the chaos that's happened, and he's now leading this race. Let's take a look at who the biggest movers and shakers are. There's going to be some. Michael Hownick is just not having a lot of luck this race. I'm not sure what happened, but he went off the track, and he's now got to make his way back to the front. Fortunately, Misha is now in the lead, leading Philip Hammer, and we're gonna follow along and see how long he can hold him off. Michael Hownick has some damage, followed by Bence right behind. It looks like Gordon is going in the pits for a fast repair, possibly. Something is going on, so he's going to use the fast repair. It looks like Michael Hownick is following suit. And he's just not going to take the risk. Go full car, a full perfect car. He'll lose those positions that he gained-ish, and go for a proper driving car. Here we have Aaron Hall up 4 positions in that beautiful black and white two-face car. You never know who you're going to get with that two-face car. No. And so he's up 4 positions. Zane Smith directly in front, up 4 positions, followed by Gherkin Demir, who is also up 4 positions. So these guys have all made up a lot of ground in this 15-minute race, and they're... oh no! There we go, and Aaron has spun himself, unfortunately, and lost all that he's gained. So we're now following along with Sebastian, who's up 7 positions. He is the biggest gainer of the night so far. Looks like Ali Dink has put up... oh, Charlie Card has now done the fastest lap of the session at 125.3. So let's see if he can make up some ground and get up there with those leaders. So it looks like... let's pull up the intervals here. Ali is 1.5 seconds away. So he's definitely going to want to get up to those leaders there, and with his try and put down those laps, get up there and challenge for P1. Everyone here is actually quite close together. We don't have too many large gaps going on in this race, which is amazing to see. It's a show of the talent that we have in this pool here. And Philip, being in P2 here with Misha, he's really trying to think about, do I want to send it too wide and start a battle and slow down this pace? Or do I want to stay behind and let Misha try and run away from Ali behind? And it looks like Ali is catching. And Philip is either going to have to make a move or be okay with a 3-car battle for the lead, with Gherkin potentially even catching them. This could turn into a wild battle of around 6 cars for that P1 position. And we have only 4.5 minutes down in this race. So this could get really interesting really soon. And it looks like Maddie is actually out of the race, unfortunately. And Philip is not able to gain that overlap, and he's just hanging out behind. And so in the meantime, let me see if we have some time. We can just take a quick look at what happened at the very beginning. Here's what happened at the very beginning. Looks like, oh, someone got in there. Oh, and it looks like Maddie and Gordon just didn't have a good time together, and that's all that happened. A little bit of an unfortunate coming together, and yeah, we'll just, if that's submitted, we'll have to review it. If not, then everyone's happy with what happened. It just looks like a bit of an unfortunate situation. But yeah, back up to the lead. It looks like Philip Hammer is very close to Misha, and he's looking to go into the inside in turn 2. He has gained the overlap and now has sent it too wide. He's going to have, oh, and he has to come off. Let's see, does he stay up there? He's got overlap going into this next hairpin, and he will have the inside. Does Misha hold that outside? Let's see what happens. Philip has gained that position off of Misha. Misha has lost the overlap and is now battling for P2 with Ali directly behind, and it's released Philip into the lead. And if Ali's not careful and battles enough, he might not even be able to catch back up to Philip. He's sent it too wide. Ali really wants this position. He is not waiting. Patience is not what he's about, and he is going full send. He wants P1. He wants to win this race, this sprint race, get all the points, and be in position to win this feature. He is not going to let Phil get away. He's got his eyes on that prize. So we've got Misha here, who is now having lost those positions. We'll have to see how he does his drive with Girk and Demir directly behind now. Is Misha going to be drive a little bit angry, try and get those positions back? Or is he going to just be okay with where he's at? He's going to be okay with this and wait for the feature to make his moves. We'll have to tune back in later on to see how he's doing. Here, we'll now take a look at Girk and Demir. Girk and Demir, let me see, is up 4 positions. Being up 4 positions, Girk and Demir with this, I don't think I've seen this paint on him before. He's now directly behind Misha, looking to take that final podium position. And his pace, he is a very fast driver, very confident, capable driver. He is not afraid of going too wide on any corner. He loves his racing. So expect him to make moves very shortly. Before that happens, we're going to go 1 car back and take a look at Charlie Card. And this is one wild looking paint scheme here with for Charlie, the Kraken, as it says. That is cool as hell. He's in a nice, comfortable position on an island. He just has to manage his gaps ahead and behind. And it's a lot less stressful to be in this position. P5 for the feature, which is really great. And Maddie in our chat here is saying it was his fault on that race. Too low on practice. It's his fault. It's something about Gordon and Maddie. They always seem to come together, those two, you know? Anyways, back to Charlie. Let's go 1 car back. We'll go 1 car back to Zane. Another really cool paint jobs. I love the paint that all you guys bring out for your cars. Absolutely love it. He's followed directly by Jamie Fierro. And Ben, first we'll take a look at Benz, who had to start at the back of the pack, has made up many positions. He started P15 and is now P9, just off of pace, patience, and beautiful passes. He is doing an amazing job. He's placing himself very well for the feature to be able to place well in our longer race and gain even more points. So back to Zane. He's being followed by Jamie Fierro, who, if you remember last week, was battling with Philip Hammer. And so expect Jamie to try to make some moves and gain an extra position or two if he can, and start getting released towards Charlie. So we'll have to keep a little mental note to keep coming back to these two to see if there's any moves, or they're both just comfortable being where they're at. Next, we got Aaron Hall, who we watched unfortunately eat a lot of concrete with his the front inside of his car, as you can see. Looks like that wheel is a little bit of the stretch and poke scene. It's sticking out a little more than you'd expect. But he's on a bit of a recovery drive, just trying to hold on to the positions that he's at. He's got a nice spot where there's gaps ahead, gaps behind. And being in P8, that's not too bad, having spun and unfortunately eaten shit and gone off track. He's followed by Bence, who it looks like he has some minor damage, unfortunately. I'm not sure where that came from. But after seeing last week with Bence, doesn't matter if he's got damage or not, a perfect clean car or not, this guy is fast. He is going to put in burner laps, doesn't matter what, he is just going to get that job done. We'll go a little bit back, and we got Stephen J. Mann. And let's see who is up 2 positions, followed directly by Sebastian, who is up 3 positions. So let's take a look real quick at last laps. So Stephen J. Mann, it looks as if he's lost a little bit of pace. Maybe just unfortunate laps, or his front tires are feeling a little off, lost a little bit of focus. And it's a little bit of a challenge for him, I guess. It could be anything. And so he's now doing a little bit slower laps, which are okay. He's not in a horrible spot, up a few positions. Just manage that, and he'll be okay for the feature. And here we go with Sebastian, who is not far behind. And I believe I used the same paint color scheme on my car, so I'm going to have to say I love that paint. Sebastian in P11, up a few positions from where he started. So he's in a great position for the feature to just gain some good points. And he has, let's see, Gordon Ramsay behind him, and Chuck Baker further back. Looks like Chuck has some damage on his car. So he's involved in some unfortunate incidents. He's just going to finish the race. He's not going to take the fast repair, it looks like. He's just going to go all in, just like that. So we're going to move up. It looks like right back to the front. Philip Hammer, it looks like he has, after being released from that battle, has created a large enough gap to feel comfortable. His pace has just made that gap happen. Ali Dink directly behind with 2.7 seconds in gaining, followed by Misha and Gurkin Demir here. So this has the potential, with 1 minute to go and one more lap, to really turn into a battle. If Gurkin can get close enough, and he is almost to that point, he can send it for P3, podium, the final podium position in the sprint race, and be in an excellent spot to start that feature. Just hold on to a draft and finish even better for for the big race. And it looks like Gurkin is getting closer and closer. This is now entering turn 1. If he can get a great turn 1 and excellent turn 2, he can easily get the overlap and make the move on Misha. So it's all about this braking zone right here, this exit. Does he get an excellent exit? He does. He actually gets a better exit than Misha. And that draft is pulling him. Absolutely pulling him closer and closer. He can feel the heat of the exhaust off of Misha's car right now. It is just bumper to bumper. These two cars can almost give each other a hug. You know, or you can even say that they're spooning in bed. Who's the big spoon? Who's the little spoon? I don't know. We're going to have to ask the guys after the race. Which one do they prefer? And we're going to come back and look at Jamie Fierro here with Zane Smith. This is the other close battle going on. It looks like Jamie, he has maybe a little bit of damage on the back of his car. Not sure where that came from. Too exciting to turn away and look at the replays. But here we go. He's getting much closer. Is this the last lap? This is the last lap. So that means Gherkin was not able to get up there. Zane holds his position. Aaron, driving through the damage and the spin, holds his position. Philip is in P1. There's Vince finishing in P9. A great showing for a 15-minute race to have gained all of that. Steven coming here in P10. 11 for Sebastian. And Gordon, who had the misfortune...
Good race, guys. I definitely need to turn up my fan after this one. See you in the next one. Good luck.
And then Gordon being on the receiving end of Maddie's misfortune. Down in P12. That is very unfortunate for Gordon. Strong showing last week from Gordon. And then Chuck in P13 here. Congratulations on Philip coming out with, let me pull up, show results. There we go. Congratulations to Philip for winning that first sprint race. He's gained 20 points, and whoever had the fastest lap, and we'll take a look at that after, whoever has the fastest lap gains 1 extra point, and Philip, if that was Philip, he gains 21 points, otherwise it's 20. Ali Dink in his first race, excellent showing to go P2 and get 19 points from this sprint race. Misha, rounding out the podium for the sprint race, being on third, he gets 18 points, and so that's going to help a lot on his championship points. Gherkin in P4, Charlie in P5, Zane P6, Jamie in P7, Aaron in P8, Bence P9, Steven in P10, Sebastian 11, Gordon P12, Chuck 13, Michael Hownick having a very unfortunate run in being even further back in 14, and Maddie in 15. So that was, okay, we're going to go back to here, and we're going to hide this. Put that away. Wait. Oh, wrong button.
Here we go. Gotta take a drink of water, talking gets the throat dry.
Now today, we are missing our race winner from last week. I was told how to pronounce his name. It's not Kagan, like I was saying, it's Shag. I just had this an hour ago. Shagin Tunali. So, he is not here this week. So this gives lots of opportunity for someone else to win. So lights are on, lights are off, and away we go. Here we go. Much cleaner start. A little bit of smoke. Everyone just 2 wide, 3 wide into turn 1. Let's see, nice and clean. Do we hear sounds of cars smashing? No, so far all good. You know, they learned from that last race that they want to stay nice and clean. Don't want to end anyone's race. This is a long race. No need to take that chance. Just keep it nice and safe. Here we go. Everyone's rounding turn 2 cleanly. A little bit of sideways for Gordon. It looks like he lost a little bit of traction. Let's go up to the leaders. Let's see. We have Ali is now taking the lead over Philip, with Gherkin in third, Jamie in fourth, up many positions. This is absolutely wild. Oh, and unfortunately, Zane may have been bumped. and luckily has minimal damage. I believe he has minimal damage, but has been sent, unfortunately, to the very back of that pack. Oh, and it looks like Charlie, something has happened to him. Michael Hownick is up from P15 start up to P8. Maddie is up to P10. There is a lot of action. I can't follow it all. Guys, slow down. So we got Ali in the lead. Oh, and another car spun. It looks like Benz may have caught a curve and spun in the background there, as you saw.
Man. Don't move when you grass, bro. Hold your brakes, man.
And it looks like there may have been a spinner and an incident. If that's submitted for Stewart review, we'll take a look at how that goes. But if not, then everyone's okay with how it went. Here we go. We got up for the lead. We got Ali still in the lead with 3-4 cars trailing all the way to Misha, all within 1 second, about 2 seconds of each other. All of these cars. This is going to be a battle of the century because he is just not pulling away. Everyone is right there. This is absolutely thrilling. And the moment that Philip goes too wide with Ali in front there, it's going to allow Misha. Oh, and Misha has just something has happened to Misha. He went off, and it's allowed Michael Hownick and Aaron Hall to pass. So that's going to help that front pack alleviate a little bit of that pressure to have one less car chasing them. But Jamie Ferrero is right in striking range of getting into that pack, and so if Philip goes for that pass, it's going to slow them down and bring one more car into that mix. And Philip is, I'm sure, thinking of that right now. Does he want to take that risk and add an extra car into the mix, or is he going to relax and hopefully let this pack break away a little bit more? So we got Michael Hownick, who is the biggest mover and shaker of the evening, definitely after a massive loss in that first race, is now up 8 positions, an insane 8 positions, and absolutely killing it. So we have some time. Looks like we have some time to take a look at what has happened throughout this race. So here's a replay at the very beginning. This is Zane. So this is Zane Smith in the Kraken car. Or sorry, this car. And it looks like they just slightly touched. Oh no, and you know what happened? Instead of ruining, that is very commendable effort by Zane. Instead of ruining another guy's race, he locked his tire, full sent it off the track, and didn't take the other guy with him. That is amazing. That's what we love to see here, to have people that care about the other people. That is why we race in a league. That is amazing of Zane. Unfortunate as well, but that is what we like to see. Here's Charlie. This is what happened to Charlie. He missed his turn and just unfortunately went off, and now he's where he's at. Michael Hownick is still here. We'll take a look at some replays again later, but for now, back up to the lead. We have Ali in the lead, Philip right behind, and Gherkin there as well. And it looks like Philip's patience has been paying off. Now Jamie is 2 seconds, and we have one less car in this. One less car here, it looks like, I think. But Jamie being 2.1 seconds back, he can make a pass without the risk of having another car join this fight. Philip now setting the purple lap and getting an extra point for this. And And so yeah, he's the patience has definitely paid off. Here's Michael Howenick. He's going for a move on the inside in the turn 2 on Aaron Hall. He gets it done. He gets the overlap. Does he get enough power to get out of the turn? Yes, he does. He gets away from Aaron, and it puts Misha into the mix as well. Does Misha go for the inside turn? Is he going to stay behind and just chill and hang out behind Michael Howenick? Or let's see what happens in the turn 2. I hear cars crashing. That is not good. And that looks like Jamie Fierro has made a mistake and gone off track and lost many positions, putting Michael Howenick up into P4. He is 8 seconds behind that lead pack. And we're going to have to follow along to see if he can make up that distance, or if his pace just isn't going to make it there in time. There's a lot of race left with 23 minutes. If there's anyone that can do it, I'm going to have to say that's Michael Howenick. He has the pace. He just always seems to be filled with a little bit of misfortune in his races. And if he can get that fixed, he is a consistent race winner week after week, or challenger to Shakin when Shakin is back next week and the weeks after. And it looks like Michael Howenick is actually, with his pace, breaking away from Aaron Hall. He's now in one lap, had made a second gap and left Misha and Aaron to battle against each other, and to have Jamie Fierro not far behind to battle it with them. So, coming along with Misha, does Misha make a move? And it looks like he backs out, and he's just going to relax, hold his position. Oh, and Aaron goes wide. He tries to break too deep, and Misha, just by being there, has pressured Aaron into making a mistake. And you know what? Everyone loves a freebie. Just by being there, looks like it's, yeah, there we go. And so that's going to make it very interesting with Jamie, and we'll have to see what he does. Back up to the lead. It looks like these guys are all still very close. There's a lot of race to go. Oh. Benz with a little bit of car damage. There may have been a slowdown for Sebastian. He just got passed. Or he was just letting him go. But Benz is now back up to P9. After eating the curb on, I believe it's the first lap, he's a little bit of bad luck. And he's a bit like Michael Howenick's story. Extremely great pace, and just has to get the luck on his side, and he'll be right up there on the podium week after week. And every week these guys run, I'm sure that they're learning lots and sort of looking at, like, hey, what can I do different to get up there? And he's got Charlie Card right behind him, really pushing. And this is going to be difficult because Benz has a little bit of damage and Charlie does not. So that puts him at a disadvantage, and he may get passed. He may not. Luckily, he does have the draft of Steven right in front of him, and that's going to make it harder to get the overlap. It looks like he's going for the pass. Oh, and that's exactly what can happen. If you go for those battles, go for a pass, you might actually lose a position. It's a perfect example. We now have a 3-car battle. Oh, wow. This is incredible racing here. These guys are not giving more than an inch. They really want that spot. They are not hesitating to pass. They want every position possible. They are just going for it. Looks like Charlie was not able to get the overlap on the inside. It looks like Benz was able to make the dive on the inside, take that position, and he just has to hope that Steven and Charlie fight it out enough that he's able to build that gap. Little bit of car contact. Luckily, nobody taken out from that. Just a tiny, tiny bump. Racing incident, really, if anything. Here we go. We've now got Benz in the lead of this group. That was incredible driving by Benz. Followed directly by Charlie, Steven, Sebastian, and Zane. Incredible. It looks like now Benz is being challenged. Oh, Benz is not being challenged. Benz is making another pass. Benz has just now made a pass on Misha. And Misha is followed directly by Charlie Card. And even though Benz has a damaged car, he is making up positions like nobody's business, making his way up the field. And he's going to have to hope that Charlie challenges Misha and allows him to create that gap. And that's exactly what's happened here. Misha is now being challenged for his position, going too wide in the turn 2, allowing Benz to break away. Charlie does not want him to get away. He is putting every bit of effort to get up there and get that position back from him. Misha, though, wants that back. Misha started very high up in the grid, and having lost this main positions, being in P9 is not favorable for Misha. He's definitely a bit of a recovery drive, trying to not continue losing, which is definitely going to be a challenge for him. Charlie Card has now been released from the pack. Misha is being now chased by Steven directly behind him, with Zane right behind Steven. And even further back, Sebastian. Everyone is extremely close together. And we're both nearing halfway point. It looks like these two guys have similar paint jobs. Maybe they are friends. Let's make that assumption that they're friends. And yeah. It looks really cool, to be honest, to see two cars similar like that. I wonder if they're going to work together in this, or are they going to try and battle each other? Are they talking to each other, trying to figure out, hey, how are we going to do this, or not? I guess we'll have to follow along and see. It looks like Zane has taken the inside into the hairpin. And Steven concedes the corner and lets Zane go. And that means Zane is now in position that he can start chasing Misha and seeing if he can make a position up there. Misha got a little bit lucky, it looks like, by them battling a little bit, and has given him a little bit of a gap. And so yeah. Let's go back up to the leaders. These guys are having an incredible battle. Philip doing exactly as we were talking about earlier, being a little bit patient, not making the pass and letting everyone let the field thin out a little bit and not slow down the pace of the lead pack. He's done exactly that to allow them to break away. He's trusted that Ali has the pace to be up there with him. And they've now broken away. Even Gherkin in P3 is 1.2, 1.3 seconds back. And that's going to give Philip the confidence, the space to make the move that he wants and take that lead and take that win. So right now, we're gonna have to see, does Philip make that move? Right now, we're following along. We're following on, and he's trying. He's poking his nose. He's letting Ali know, I am here, and if you're going to give me the space, I'm going to take your position. There is no rest for the wicked. So it's brought Gherkin a little bit into the mix, but not enough to worry. So Philip's going to have to make the move quick, gain that gap, or this could become a 3-car battle and Gherkin becomes the new leader. So let's see. Heading into turn 2, it looks like Philip got a great run out. He's looking to the inside, but not quite. So he's going to look for a great exit. He got exactly that exit. He took a little bit of a later apex, and it's allowing him to get a good run. Does he go for it? No, he doesn't. He backs out, and he's just going to wait one more lap and hope that Gherkin stays back. And he's just going to have a little bit of patience. That's amazing racecraft, and there we go. So here we go, Michael Howenick. We were talking earlier, had an 8-second gap to that lead pack, now down to 5 seconds, all within the span of about 10 minutes. He started at the very back of our grid, and had to avoid all of the kerfuffles, and has made his way all the way up to P4. That is incredible. Managing the tires enough that he's here. This is an incredible, incredible race for Michael Howenick. And he's now, Michael Howenick is, am I reading this correctly? Oh, Gherkin may have had a little bit of a spin. Look at that, that's what happened. Gherkin may have had a little bit of a lockup or a spin. Oh, we'll head up here because it looks like Philip is in striking range. Is he going to make the move? Is he going to take the inside, try to get this position? He is not able to get there in time for the braking zone to gain overlap fairly. He's going to take the safe way out and just continue to hold in P2. And P2 is not a bad place to be, with a 5-second gap to P3 after Gherkin had a bit of an oops. This is a very comfortable place to be with 12 minutes to go. He does not have to make a rush pass. He can just hang out in this position and get it done at any point. So he has 12 minutes to pick his time, and then he's good to go. And Michael Howenick is now gaining on Gherkin after going off, or locking a tire, I'm not sure. And it looks like starting from the back, Michael Howenick is now positioned to be in a podium finish. That right there, that is outright pace. He is in drafting range of Gherkin, and I want to see if he's able to make this happen right here on this lap. Getting even closer to Gherkin. He won't. I don't think he'll be able to make the pass on this straight, but he's definitely going to get close enough that he's going to put the pressure on Gherkin, let him know that he is there. He wants that position, and we're going to come back to him shortly. Right now, we're going to take a look at Zane, Misha, and Aaron, who are all very close to each other. So Zane is 4/10 back off of Misha. Don't think he's going to get the overlap, but these guys have another 10, 11 minutes to go, and they are very close. They want each other's positions on track. They want those points for the season championship. And they're right there saying, hey, don't make a mistake. I'll take your spot. I'm not going to hesitate to take your spot. If you go a little bit off, you miss an apex, I'm right here. And this is what we love to see, is guys not being too much on an island. Even though being on that island, it's much less stress, easier to race that way for some, being on that island. But it's a lot of fun to have a car near you. And so with Steven, he's definitely got that stress-free race where he just has to manage his tires, manage the gaps, and he'll be okay. And he'll finish in P11. Now it looks like Philip, we'll go back to Philip, because he may gain that overlap. No, not close enough. Not close enough. Michael Howenick directly behind Gherkin. Now 2 cars is similarly paced. It is a little bit difficult to pass. It's the same for every track. The little bit of draft helps. So it takes a little bit of aggression, a lot of skill on similarly paced cars to gain that overlap. Once that overlap is gained, two cars can go side by side for a very long time on this track and make it really interesting. And at that point, the challenge is to not lose the overlap and battle that out. And so Michael Hounek is just looking to gain that overlap, just a little bit, just enough to get into that battle and try and challenge for this position. We'll come back to him in a second. We'll take a look at Sebastian. I believe we flicked that. Gordon, who again in the feature has had some misfortune happen, a little bit of spins and unfortunate things, and is riding in P13, which is going to make him, I'm sure, feel a little bit sad. Last week had an excellent showing at Road Atlanta, so it's a huge turnaround to end up in this position. And knowing Gordon, he's going to bounce back the following week, and he's going to be back up there in that top 5. He's not going to sit still and be okay with finishing in this position. He's going to put the hours in. He's going to practice. He'll be back up there. I have no doubt about that. So back up to Philip, and not far behind, Michael Hounek. Okay. Chuck Baker looks like is out of the race. Philip is now, wow, he's getting even closer, going into turn 1. If Philip can nail this turn, it's going to give him the overlap in the turn 2, which is the perfect place to pass. Absolute perfect. But he just cannot get that overlap. He's going for the late apex. He turned in significantly later than Ali did. Let's see. Can he get this overlap? And no, he cannot. So just very quickly, looks like Michael Hounek is coming down the straight. No, and he's not able to gain it either. While we have time, I'm going to just take a look at a replay. This is Matty Helenius. Let's see, he's had 2 crashes now. Oh, and it just... a little bit of a loss of control, unfortunately. And that was where Matty went off and had just a little bit of a run out. There's been a few others. Looks like Matty went off track a lot of times this race, and just, I guess his lack of practice, as he was saying, didn't do him any favors, and we'll have to see him back next week. I'm sure he'll have a strong showing once he gets some practice in. Michael Hounek is now closer than he's ever been to Gherkin Demir. Did an excellent turn 1, and now he's going to take a run at Gherkin, or look at taking a run. Oh, and he stays behind. We're going to jump up to Philip, who's now even closer. And he is going to look to the inside. He's going to try and gain that overlap. He is not able to gain it under braking. The outside line does have a little bit more braking power to it. So it's really hard to outbrake on the inside. You almost have to gain that overlap before you get to the braking zone, because the braking on the outside has a lot more available braking force, braking ability, I should say. So it is a very difficult track to pass on. But yeah. Oh, it looks like Misha, Charlie, Misha, and Zane are now in a battle for P7. Let's see. With 4 minutes to go, these guys have had their tires these guys have had their tires wearing down, heating up, and so at this point, the last 4 minutes of the race, it's going to be a huge challenge to see who has taken care of their tires enough that they can still make these passes, still make these moves, go late on the brakes if they need to, and gain those overlaps. So that's part of the challenge of our race and our format is you have to prove yourself twice. One, in a short 15-minute race, you have to be able to perform twice and once in that, as I said already, that short 15-minute race and prove that you can battle off any attempts to pass, not lose your position, you have a great start, and you can hold it together. And then you have to prove that again, that you can do a longer race. Oh, and it looks like Misha is now being challenged for his position. So you have to prove, and you have to prove that you can do it for a longer time and take care of your tires. Drive smooth enough that you don't lose all of your pace from making constant mistakes. And so the winner of the race really is the most disciplined driver. And it's an extreme challenge. I invite anyone and everyone to come out and try it themselves to see how hard this is to be in the top 3 and the top 5. So here we go with Michael Howenick is looking to make some moves on Gherkin. Gets a better exit, possibly. And coming down this straight, is he going to get there? He is not able to get there in time. Going a little bit further, we got Philip, who he's now 6/10 back, 7/10 back. Being so close may have burned up his tires, trying to make passes, trying to create that gap. It might have given too much temperature into his tires, and he might not be able to hold on any longer. Let's see if this gap gets any larger. Or let's see if he can turn it around. He's just relaxing and letting him think that he can get away. We'll have to see in a lap or two. We have maybe 1 more lap left, 2 more laps left. We'll have to see if Philip will be able to get back up there, get closer, and gain that overlap. Here comes Michael Howenick with an excellent turn 1, and he's going to be looking to make this pass to get onto that podium. He has 2 points extra that he can get just by making it onto that podium. And that's a lot of points for the championship. Gherkin is defending the inside. He wants Michael Howenick to try that outside. Try me, he says. And Howenick trying to do an over-under, but not quite. Not able to make it work. So we'll have to come back to them. So we're going to go to Misha Berger and Zane Smith, who are having quite a battle themselves. Really, really going at it. This is not the last lap. Let's take a look at the leaders just to see, is this the last lap? No, this is not the last lap. There's going to be 1 more lap. Yep, perfect. This is now the white flag lap. There's 1 more lap to go for all drivers. So that means 1 more lap for Zane to try and make a move on Misha. 1 more lap for Michael Howenick to make a move to get onto that podium. And 1 more lap for Philip to make a move running down this straight on Ali Dink. And amazing showing by Ali for his first race to be up there in that lead. And these guys have made it close all race. This is an extremely strong showing of both drivers to be up here this far ahead of P3. It looks like Charlie looks like he may have passed. Oh, it looks like Benz went off track, and that's what's caused a little bit of this kerfuffle, allowing Misha, Charlie, and Zane to pass him. So here we go. Here are the leaders. They're coming into the last few turns right now. There we go. There comes the leaders going into the last few turns. And Ali Dink brings it home to lead Philip Hammer. Congratulations on Ali being P1 and Philip for P2. Here comes Gherkin Demir for P3, leading Michael Hownick. Congratulations to Gherkin for rounding out that podium. A great drive by Michael Hownick for starting at the back and ending in P4. Here comes Jamie Fierro to be in P5. Charlie Card, followed by a train of cars of Misha, Zane, and Bence. And here comes Aaron, not too far behind. Steven coming around last turn right now for P11. Sebastian just doing his run down into the last few corners right now, followed not too far behind by Gordon Ramsay. And there we go, there's Sebastian going around that final turn. Here comes Gordon on a race that he's probably going to want to forget and look forward to that next week to get back up into that top pack. And here comes Gordon, and that is it. That looks like all the racers right there feature, and we'll just bring up. We'll bring up the results, and here we go. Congratulations once again for Ali Dink. Philip in P2, not far behind, challenging him at every moment. Having lost, I believe Philip started in P1 for this race, and so challenging him every lap, not letting him have a little bit of space and breathing room, making sure he knows he's there. That is exciting race. Gherkin Demir in P3 was with that lead pack, having an unfortunate oopsie, falling back to P3. Not a bad way to finish still. Michael Hownick up many positions. We're going to have to be watching this guy week after week. Jamie Fierro up in P5. Not a bad way to finish his race. After last week, finishing, I believe it is P2, and now at P5, that he's going to be scoring consistent, great championship points week after week. Charlie Card, P6. Misha in P7. He done a lot better than he did last week. Last week he had that massive misfortune at Road Atlanta, so he's turned his week around. Zane Smith in P8. Bence in P9, having a great finish considering all things considered. Aaron Hall in P10, Steven in 11, Sebastian 12, Gordon in 13, and Maddie having extreme misfortune. I guess, as he says, lack of practice. And we're going to hope to see him actually next week in the lead pack of our drivers. If he can get that practice in, I'm sure he's going to be right up there. Chuck Baker in 15, and it looks like Yiling Wang may not have even started, unfortunately. And yeah, and that is our race. Congratulations for all the winners, drivers who finished. I hope you had a great time, and yeah, I can't wait to see you next week. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.